Hawaii relatives, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Have a Powwow podcast. I'm your host, Amy Fareed, and with me today, one is literally my sister. People literally confuse us as the same person.
Facts.
Miss Deyah Cassadore. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up.
Hi, bitch. Love you. Same.
And sitting next to Deyah, another Indigenous hairstylist that I would like to get to know more. We have Chad Tabor here today, everybody. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Oh my God. Okay, so today we are recording on Monday, which is known as famously as the hairdresser's day off.
Yes.
Traditionally, it's a hairdresser's day off. Not for me, though. I did have to come in and cut a client, which I'm very happy because the clients that I'm cutting are supporting this podcast. So thank you for coming to see me because this is how I'm paying to be able to rent the space and all this other stuff that I'm having to buy software to edit. So thank you to my clients. We are all hairstylists. We could say we love our clients, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think that day off only applies outside New York City.
Yeah.
Because this is when we do our second, third, and fourth jobs.
Yes.
And here I am. Look at me, moonlighting, actually cosplaying as a podcaster. I think I like the sound of my voice. And now that I have the headphones on, because you can't even get into it, it gets a little ASMR. I'm feeling the vibe.
Yes.
But this podcast is about the urban Indigenous experience. And we're not born here. We were born somewhere else and we got here. And so my story, you've heard it before. I'll say it again. I moved to New York City on a Greyhound bus in the year 2000 to become a celebrity editorial hairstylist. And that's what I am. That's what I do.
You're doing it.
I'm doing the damn thing. And it's been an amazing ride. And I'm so excited to still be able to do these things. And now I have Deyah that is also doing those things. In the same spaces, for so long working in fashion as an Indigenous, a Native woman, it was just me for so long on all the sets, working with major European fashion houses. A lot of times it was just me. And a lot of times it was just me being the only person of color on set. And now that Deyah has been, when did we meet? 2017?
Yeah, somewhere around there at Indigenous People's Day.
Yes, which is so symbolic. And having Deyah on set with me, I've talked about you, I think, on like almost every episode I have recorded.
Yeah.
So Deyah is here.
Live
And direct.
This is she.
In the flesh. We are two separate people.
Yes. We look
Here's your
like
proof.
sisters.
People literally, oh my God, I thought, and they were like, oh, it's Deyah.
Yeah. They were like, what's up, Amy? I'm like, hi, I'm Deyah.
Is that why you changed your hair color? Is that why you lightened your hair color?
Maybe.
Literally.
Oh my God, is that what
Because
it
our
is?
texture is the same,
It's
too.
literally, but
Right.
now I'm like, okay, yes, Lena,
She's
we
like,
gotta.
I'm giving fringe and color.
Totally.
Just so y'all don't.
Totally.
Just so you don't think
No,
I'm
I
Deyah.
actually like the similarities, so I'm not mad at that. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I like to kind of go in between mysteriously, like, is it Amy or is it Deyah? Is it Amy or is
Look,
it Deyah?
I'm a twin, so trust me, I know the power of
yeah,
the twin. That's the twin
duh,
identity.
duh.
Like everybody wants to be us.
Yes, it's facts.
No, it's a magical thing to have a twin. I'm super blessed.
Wait, okay, so Chad, tell me, you are from Oklahoma.
I am also
originally.
Yeah, I'm also from Oklahoma. I was born in Tulsa.
Love.
So much to say about
Oklahoma
Tulsa.
girlies.
Yeah,
The Okies are in the house.
I would say the right side of the state. But
we are on the right side of the
like
state.
physically the right side
because
of the state as well. But yes.
Of course. Well, Tulsa, as we know, we are supremacists.
It's the true heart of the state.
Because what is Oklahoma City? What is she giving?
What-
I mean,
what-
she's trying these days.
she's trying.
Wait,
with
are
that-
we gonna get the hate? Are we getting hate mail from Oklahoma City?
Well, they famously say don't hate the 918. So
It's true.
what can you do?
No, Tulsa, she's the chic. She's the chic
she-
sister.
She is. She's the pretty one.
She's the pretty one. She's the artsy one.
That's always the conversation with twins too, right? The pretty one. I know. Maybe we both are the pretty one.
Wait, are you the pretty one?
Well, I mean, my sister's pretty beautiful, so I don't know that I can make that claim.
Wait. So
and
yes.
besides,
Tell me.
you know,
I mean-
I think we cover different
Yes.
different audiences.
You're both equally
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Okay, so I've in my experience with the twins I've met twins that are like, we are one, we were split up, and we don't feel whole until we're one again, and we get along, and everything just is symbiotic, and we are just the best of friends. And then I've met twins that are the opposites, that don't like each other. And like there's like the evil twin and the good twin. And I kind of live for that. I've met 2 models recently that have had twins, and they've both been good and evil. Like they hate their other twin. I'm like, oh, I've never heard that.
So I know both scenarios too, and I honestly I feel like I kind of feel sad for those ones.
I do
That's the truth.
too.
I will say I do have an evil twin, but I love her, and you know, I think that we all need a little empathy.
So
No, I'm joking.
Hey, wait, so you're
but-
the
but
good.
truth-
You're the good.
Well, listen,
You're the light and the dark. Because you're the light.
there's a lot of
You're the
there's
sweetest.
the yin and the yang, and I will say that I didn't give her the name of the evil twin. It would in fact be people that worked with. So by the way, she's a hairdresser too.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
I need them
So
on the pod.
We went to
gonna have to
we need-
re-record
we
the
need, we need to
hairdresser.
zoom her in. We need to zoom her in. She's
Yes.
in Phoenix.
Aw.
She
Where
yeah,
I'm
well
from, I was
this
born
is
in
this is
Phoenix.
see this is it's a full circle.
We need the
full circle
balance.
moment, right?
We need
It's
the
a full circle
Arizona,
moment. Yeah.
Oklahoma.
And the truth is, we get along really well. I've talked to her a couple times today. We talk almost every day. But that's also because we live in different cities. Because I told her when I moved here 10 years ago that she's always welcome to come visit, but the city is not big enough.
Yeah.
For the
Like,
both y'all.
No, it's definitely not. And actually,
Ooh.
we're going to need that close on
I
hand.
need you to hear that. Okay, twin, you're twin. Wait, you
Twin
talk-
best friend.
you talk every day.
I call her my woommate. Yeah, we're super
Oh,
close.
Oh my god, that's the
I-
cutest
yeah,
thing I've ever
yeah.
heard.
Yeah, she can be my roommate, but
Womb-mates.
not my roommate.
It ends there.
It,
Yes.
And actually, it actually ends probably on the other side of Queens because I told her she could be in Long Island. The truth is, she's a Long Island. She's a suburban kind of girly. She's got like 4 cars. She's got like a
Oh, not
4,000 or 4 or 6. I can't remember.
Oh,
Oh
word.
my
Are they a
God.
car
Oh,
collector?
Can I?
This
can
is
I
down
borrow
from
one?
like 11. They had a Turo car rental business. My sister's an entrepreneur ninja. Don't like seriously. She's
Okay,
balling
Miss
out of
Toro.
control.
I
Yeah.
I want to get into Miss Toro.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. I think it's a good business for the right
Yeah.
scenario, but it.
She's a
They're-
hairstylist. She's making her ends.
Well, you know,
meet.
she's not doing hair now. Now in Phoenix, she's doing real estate. she's
Word.
And even that, yo.
yeah, she's getting her land back.
Yo,
Let me tell you.
bitch, wait a minute. Okay,
She's
what's
selling it
going?
too.
What's going on? Because Arizona has become such a place to move. A lot of people from New York are moving there
It's a really
because it's
interesting
affordable, or
It's-
It's so stupid because it's gonna run out of water
It's-
if you stay in the desert. Like it's literally sinking the city.
place. Listen,
But-
Phoenix.
Phoenix,
yeah.
yes, and the surrounding areas, because you know it's like boroughs like here. So there's like Phoenix is this capital, and then there's around it is like Mesa, Tempe, you know. So
Yes.
it's like New York, whatever. But no, yeah, it's the same thing where it just like it's sinking, it's gonna run out of water. I hate it because there's like all the snowbirds move there, which I get as I've gotten
Yes.
older. How getting cold kind of
Yes.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I
Yeah.
still like it. I'd rather be cold than hot.
Yes.
But now that's what it is. All the snowbirds are moving to Arizona where it's warm, or Tucson. Just places like
Yes.
Vegas.
And I think people coming from California looking for more affordable real estate.
Yeah.
If you're looking for real estate, hit up Corey Tabor.
yeah,
Hashtag your real estate BFF.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah,
her
that's
name?
her hashtag. Yeah, Corey Tabor.
Okay. Hey, I might be moving out there too because
She's got you. Your
New
real
York City,
hashtag your real estate BFF. She's on TikTok. She's on Instagram.
New York City's expensive.
Corey Tabor Realtor.
Girl, come.
New York City is expensive.
Have her
It's
try to
insane
do
here.
this here.
I
and
know.
see.
Well, we've been talking about that too because
She could be bi-coastal.
her fiance is from New York. So,
And they
they're
live
out in Phoenix now, but they've got family out in the Hamptons too. So like really it's a Long Island situation for her.
Okay.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
was born
It's
into the
natural.
Long Island
It's
life.
natural.
Yeah.
Okay, she was born
So
into
she
the
have a
life.
house out there with the fam.
Yeah, exactly.
She
And
ready
then-
with all her 5 cars.
Yeah,
10.
I can keep an eye on one of them in the city for her.
Work. Yes,
know?
you could drive it wherever
Yeah,
you
just-
need to be.
Exactly. We're trying to manifest this reality.
So
We just need to expand the
Deyah,
network.
you are from Arizona.
I am.
Where are you from? I know all of this shit, but I'm like, where are you from?
For everybody else that doesn't know what's up, I am Deyah Cassadore. I am from White River, Arizona. My family is actually from Civicu, and that's my mom. My mom's side, White Mountain Apache, and then my dad's side is San Carlos Apache. So,
She's all
I'm like
Apache.
mountain and desert people.
Oh, fierce.
Yeah, so-
love.
Hi, everybody at home. Love you, Mom.
Oh, I love your moms too. They're amazing.
Oh yeah,
And
I
I've
know.
got to meet them at your
Amy,
wedding.
You did. You were at my traditional ceremony.
It was so much fun.
when I got married, and my moms automatically loved you because they could tell. They're like, oh, another res bitch here, and then like just knowing too like how important it was for me to like for them to get to know you because I was like, she's my bitch, you gotta know her, and like so it was really cool that they were just like welcomed you into the family.
Oh my god, definitely.
Automatically, duh.
So good, so good. So such good people. So Chad, when did you come to New York City?
I got here. It was 10 years ago, 2015.
Oh my god,
It's
how
been
did you
10
decide
years.
to move here?
It was an interesting decision.
Wait, but before we get into how and why
Yeah.
and when, but were you a hairstylist back then?
Yeah.
How did you
Yeah.
how did you get into hair?
Doing hair was kind of a family thing. My sister and I both grew up around hairstylists because our stepfather was raised by parents that are hairstylists. So his mother and his father owned their own shops, a little beauty shop and a barber shop on Main Street in a small town in Tonkawa, Oklahoma.
Not Tonkawa. Oh my god, yes.
So
off of I-35?
Right, yes, yeah. So literally
Yes.
So they had their shop for like 40 years and my sister and I grew up terrorizing them on family visits to them. We were living down in Oklahoma City, and so when we would go
So
visit,
they would have you sweep.
actually, I think they would just have us get out.
Yeah.
They would
Like,
try,
please,
yeah, and
the
I was,
clients are
yeah, it was
complaining.
funny, and we were like, they weren't ready for us. We were so gay.
Oh yes.
We were just so obvious, like, and so curious about hair too. Like, to us,
Oh.
it was an opportunity. So we were like, I really wanted my hair to be permed and colored like electric red, and I would run over to like the swatch chart on the wall with all the little hair samples.
My
and,
favorite thing.
yeah,
in
and,
the world.
you know,
Still.
still,
they're
and I
still
would
really fun to
pick
play
out like
with.
the most electric shade. I'm like, this is my demand, and of course that was not happening for 8-year-old Chad in little town Oklahoma. That was not happening. So
This is you and your twin running around terrorizing
yeah,
the Midwestern
Yeah.
Bible Belt
yes,
salon
yes,
barbershop.
yeah, between
Oh.
church services, you
Oh,
know.
I
So
live.
and yeah, we did too. And we settled on like I think they shaved a lightning bolt into the side of my head. It was like
Hey.
1988. you know,
Hey.
That
this
was
is-
something though.
it was-
Hey,
we thought we were doing something.
yes.
So, but that I think
you were doing what you could do.
I was channeling some sort of an energetic force too through my lightning bolt design graphic,
Yes.
and I think that it just like that kind of like definitely ignited something to like. It kind of supported the curiosity, you know, when
That's
you're
so
like,
cool.
oh,
So-
because you feel like empowered when you can like change your appearance through some sort of small effort or just in a way that also kind of like asserts a little bit of your personality and control over your appearance and how people perceive you.
Yes.
It
So that was that moment in that little salon in Tonkawa.
Yeah, I think
where
that
you
was
got the
beginning.
bug.
Yeah, and then my first client is like most of our first clients, right?
Barbies.
Oh well, no, I wasn't allowed to have one of those.
Mine were
It was my
Barbies.
mom. No, my first real client was my mom
Oh my
because
God, love.
we were like 8-year-old free child labor. So I started as my career as a colorist, doing
sweatshop.
doing the pull the plastic cap with the holes in it, and
Oh my
and my mom would tie it real
Iconic.
tight, and I would stab that thing, and I was
Pull the
having
hair
fun. Yeah,
out.
pull the hair
Oh my
through,
God.
and
I
then
fried somebody's hair-
mix up
somebody's
the
hair like that.
paste and like put it on the hair and snatch the cap on.
Yeah.
In front
And
of
then
a,
taking it off is always so
yeah.
much fun.
Yeah, of
Trying to
course.
take off the cap with the bleach
I
on
did
it.
this
with
in
the
front of
bleach.
a sun lamp while my mom
Oh.
was like smoking a cigarette. I don't even know how I didn't blow up, but
We did so much in a kitchen
It was
and
the 80s.
with chemicals.
yeah, and the
Smoking.
90s, early 90s.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we
My
were
mom
the
was a
biggest.
smoker,
It was
one
the
of my
biggest
moms.
fire hazard. I don't know how we.
You know what? That just
How
brought
we
back.
survived.
That just brought back a memory for me
I'm so
too.
glad we're all still here.
We're all still here.
I mean, we probably
All
are
the
riddled
chemicals.
with
don't need to-
disease,
All of it.
but
These
we love
lungs.
our job. But that just reminded me of being in with my mom and her friend Phyllis. You know, Phyllis is a big name back home.
I love a Phyllis.
We love it, Phyllis. And my mom would color Phyllis's hair and perm it sometimes. And I'm like, is that where I got a
Two
little
chemical services.
I know.
in one, honey?
that
And
is skill. Get it.
Yeah, and I remember we would have to go to Phyllis's, and I remember her carpet and those old TVs that were inside those old big wooden structures. And
Cabinet TVs.
Yep, with the
Yeah.
rabbit ears and like
Yeah.
crazy shag carpet. And I remember my mom and her, the smoking in the kitchen beauticians. My mom is
Kitchen beautician.
My mom is not
Kitchen
a kitchen
magician.
beautician at all. But that's just what women did back in the day. They had to look out for their girls. They're like, girl, okay, we're old now. We got to cover these grays up, those white hairs.
With
And
facts.
yeah.
My
and-
mom permed like all of
Yeah.
everybody back home in the
Yeah.
kitchen. So I grew up like knowing perms too, because I'd be like, oh, she's like, oh, your auntie has to come
And
over for
the
a perm.
smell.
Because yeah, my mom, well, my mom's side, like I have this texture from my dad's side, but they all have like straight hair.
That's
like,
how my
and
mom was.
So they all wanted perms. So I just remember growing up with that. We're just like, my mom's in the kitchen perming one of my aunties or a neighbor or something, and then she had it like I would help her once in a while, like put in rods in her hair, but I hated the smell so much, so much. But yeah, that's such a core memory of doing hair in the kitchen.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. And I never talk about that in my hair stories or hair, commentaries, but that you just unlocked a core memory of.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was like, gray coverage. You have to do that all the time. So I was at Phyllis's house all the damn time. And yeah, that's so cool. I mean, I'm not a colorist, so don't, I'm definitely not that girl, but I think maybe that did put a little seed, and it was like, oh, how women felt better about themselves
Yeah.
through these little services that became attainable through a box color at the
Sure.
store. And then fast forward to now where I do the Clairol hair boxes. Deyah helps me on those jobs. I can walk into a little, toot my own horn, like, walk into Rite Aid or any store, and all of those hair boxes are all like pretty much everything that we've shot since 2000. Like, I think I started shooting them in 2017, 2018, because it was a whole rebranding that takes years to do. And so all of that stuff from there are just on the shelves. And so that's cool. I've never really spoke about that, and that's just cool, like full circle moment. And I think my mom passed before all those came out, but she would have loved that.
Yeah.
She would have loved like seeing like, oh my God, all your stuff, because that's one
massive.
thing
That's
It
really
is.
major.
I think that consumers really associate with, even though in the professional we're like, oh my God,
I
that's
know
so
there's
bad.
such hate with
It's
like
so
There
dark
is such
color.
hatred, and I
box
am a
color.
colorist, so like
Yes.
I'm in those classes and in those rooms where I'm talking with other professional colorists, and of course, it's a struggle that we have with clients and
Yeah.
dealing with that application and trying to like
the
achieve the results.
metallics in the dye.
The black box. Oh my God, don't ever dye your hair
yeah.
black.
Yeah, all those things, but also
Honey.
those boxes on those shelves were so much my inspiration and
Yes.
also my first access to hair color.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I
same.
started. I didn't start, behind the chair. I started before I could drive. I was like getting those
L'Oreal
drugstore
Red.
brands, the
Thinking
Feria,
I could
and
be
Yes.
red with
trying
black
to
hair.
trying to do something at home to create a
Yes,
change.
and honey, I'm all about those boxes because that's how she pays her rent. So
Yes, it
thank
was-
you very much, Clairol.
Love
You
you,
can be a
Clairol.
sponsor. We need those shoots to come back around.
Best gig of the year.
The best gig of the year. Thank you very much for rehiring us every time you can. Okay, so Tonkawa, it started in Tonkawa. And then you went through school? You went through high school?
Yeah,
like
my sister and I both graduated high school and kind of thought we might try the university thing. So we did that for a year. And
oh
both,
my God, me too.
yeah,
cosplay.
We gotta dabble,
Did
but
it
But-
once.
You gotta
tried.
see.
Yeah. They had to see me, so
Yes.
we gave them a show.
What school
and
did you go to?
then I went to OU.
Okay, cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so she went big.
Well, she tried.
You went big.
Yeah, I was like, let's go, but not that big. I stayed in the state. I didn't go. I didn't go.
I mean, but
abroad.
like you could
I
have
went
done
to
a
a-
community. You
Oh
coulda
no,
went
no. I
to-
was like, well. So
What's
I
that
thought,
school in Tonkawa? There's a school
Oh
in Tonkawa.
well, so I didn't grow up in Tonkawa.
Okay.
That's where my
Oh,
stepdad's from. So I'm from Tulsa.
Yes, but then you
So
lived in Oklahoma
I
City.
lived in. I grew up in Edmond.
Okay.
I went to high school in Edmond. My sister and I graduated from there, and then we did the cosplay university thing, and then we went to Anthony David's Hair Academy together.
Is
Oh,
that in
that's
Oklahoma
cute.
City?
It is in Oklahoma City. They are still there, and
Shout out.
shout out to Charlotte Quintero, my color instructor.
Shout out. Did you have a good experience there?
No, I didn't have a good experience there.
Okay,
but,
let's drag
um,
them.
No. I was
I'm
was
just joking.
young. I was young, and I was going through some things. I ended up like dropping out of hair school and then coming
She
back
was a
to
beauty
it.
school dropout.
I did that. I'm
We
like
love her.
I'm trying to fulfill all the cliches that I can in this lifetime.
Just hit them
um,
all. I love
100%.
it.
I'm hitting them
I'm
all.
so
like
inspired.
no roadblocks.
I love
okay,
you.
no roadblocks. But I came back to it. And I finished my school, and then, and honestly, I struggled all through beauty school because I was really struggling with my grasp of hair color, and I was really frustrated. And honestly, I have to say, like, back to those boxes, they fucked me up. And when I was in middle school, I grabbed an ash blonde, an extra light ash blonde, and on this level 5 hair, it did not give ash blonde.
What was it giving?
It was giving brand new copper penny.
Oh my God.
Yes, it was reflective. It was reflective, but it was a whole lot of melanin residue. So
Not reflective.
it was, but also I can also credit that frustration from that box color experience
Yeah.
with my desire to understand color theory and how hair color works, and so that frustration led to my interest in hair color for
Yes.
sure.
Beautiful.
And then after my frustration with that hair school, I had another friend who was an educator for Framisi, and his name is Drew Schweitzer, and he's gone, but he was an angel because he actually had me over for wine and color theory at his house, and he sat down with a
Special.
swatch book and just explained color theory to me.
Oh,
And
that's
it
so
was
beautiful to have.
it really changed my whole career and my trajectory because I then after only doing hair for like 2 years, I started working as a hair color educator for Kuhn.
Okay.
So I would say I would credit that for a lot of what ended up with my my trajectory and how I ended up in New York because working with Kuhn, I developed a whole lot of friendships and connections with other educators who were working across the country, and I worked for that brand for 13 years as an educator and became a national educator and was working all over the country. And
Wow. So you were you going to different salons
I
to
was-
do education?
yeah, I was doing
Were you like teaching or? Were
I was
you...
teaching, I was
My
doing
God, that's
salon
awesome.
education, I was doing distributor trade shows, I
Oh
was
my
doing
God,
platform
okay.
work, I was doing
Wait, did you
I
do
had wanted to do a platform work
hair
once.
shows.
yeah, I did hair shows with the mic, and I was on a little platform,
I
and we've
see
got
it.
the
Oh my God, come out
and
with the
I've
spray
got my
cans of
clients.
hairspray, just
Yes,
like,
we're giving yes, and like like, let's be real. It was like the 2010s,
drama.
and so I was like wearing the most ridiculous like
Low
pants
cut.
and like high tops that are like metallic and like
Yes.
studded shirts and shit. All that.
That is so
There
I
are-
need
fancy.
videos.
I need to see a video
I
of
need
that.
videos.
There
I
are
need
no
that.
greater peacocks than you will see at like one of the trade shows, especially especially the heterosexual males in this
Oh my
industry.
God. Sorry.
I don't get it.
It's
I
so bizarre. The
don't.
peacocking is so peculiar.
I don't.
What are y'all doing? Guys, what are you doing? Stop it.
They
Just
They're
stop.
their own weird
like category.
What?
Yeah,
of,
it's
like,
almost incel, right?
a little.
It's
It gives that
giving a
little.
bit,
A little. It's
just a
like,
bit.
okay, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little creepy. But anyway, that's off topic.
No. That's very on topic because
for hairstylists, we all know. When,
Yeah,
as soon
we
as
know.
you said that,
you know,
we were
is
like,
you know when Uncle Touch walks in the room.
do you miss the stage work?
I don't necessarily miss the stage work, but I do miss those. I do miss those shows. I really enjoy the backstage energy and working with really talented leaders in hair color and really passionate artists. That energy is really magical. And the collaborative
Yes.
vibe, and it's such a fun thing. And so I just actually started working with Alpha Parf Milano. So I'm now
Ooh.
back doing technical educator work and teaching with
Ooh.
them. So
Now, is that a color?
Alpha Parf Milano is a professional hair color brand, and it's a Milan-based brand, and it's been around for about 40 years. It's a
Nice.
really fantastic, like artist-driven, phenomenal pigments.
Ooh,
I mean, it
it sounds very fancy.
it sounds so fancy. I think you told me about it at one of the events, and you're like, "Dad, come learn," because like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
learning hair color.
So it's a huge passion of mine. I've spent a large bit of my career focusing on training with hair color specifically, and so that's why I'm so mystified by both of you two, because you two are such talented stylists.
Yes.
And I didn't focus. That's my weakness.
Yeah.
And so for me, like that's what I'm drawn to.
Yes.
It's because I want to learn and I want
Yeah.
to absorb and I want to just like watch you work and learn from that, and not just learn from that, but also like I spent so much of my career teaching and working in salons that I haven't had as much time to focus on editorial work,
Yeah.
which is also a fun passion of mine too.
Oh, I love
So,
that.
Yeah, and that came
You can do
later.
it, and you can do that, and you can be a
Yeah.
colorist.
You
Because
can do anything.
in New
Yeah.
York,
Or all of it.
they do try to departmentalize you, where if you are a hairstylist, that means that you style, you cut, and that's what you do. If you're a hair colorist, you color hair, and like that's
That's
kind
it.
of it. Like,
And manufacturers also
York.
do the same thing.
oh, they do.
Manufacturers do the exact same thing. They'll have a styling or a cutting styling department, and they teach hair cutting, they teach styling, and then you have a color department. And so they
Yeah.
departmentalize too. And so even
Okay.
my training, my manufacturer
Yeah.
training that I spent all those years, it was still very color focused.
Yeah.
So, and I do both inside the salon.
Yeah.
I have a huge haircut business and a huge barbering business.
Yeah.
It's just
I
that
think you can do everything.
You totally
and
can.
It just adds more tools to your arsenal. I feel like
Yes.
it's
absolutely.
important.
And then I ended up
no.
marrying a fashion designer, so now I do editorial stuff for him.
There you go.
Hubby
You know,
is so
yeah,
cute.
yeah, he's the best.
There you go.
But yeah, so you know, you literally can do anything, and that's I think the coolest thing about New York that I've discovered too is you really can do everything. It's just a matter of doing it.
If you want to sleep and
Yeah,
doing
and
it.
if you want Mondays off or not.
Yes.
Also, can we take a moment to just shout out your husband?
Yes, shout out
Who
to my
is
amazing husband who is he's
fine.
beautiful, and he's also a hugely talented fashion designer.
Beautiful person. Great
What is their
designer.
name?
His name is Yoav Hadari, and he has formerly worked for Tom Brown. He was a really
Work.
talented
One of my favorite designers.
Yeah,
right?
he did some
Current.
incredible stuff with Tom Brown. He did
Love.
a look for Cardi B for the Met Gala that was like out of control, and he's
The red
also-
one?
Yes,
Oh, of
that's the
course.
one,
Yeah.
yes.
I know like all Tom Brown stuff. Yeah. My
Yeah,
friend
that's-
James does the
yes.
hair for the show.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
James Pesci's
Yes,
for
yeah.
Tom Brown.
I've been in a class with him before while he
he's
was
amazing.
working with Orbe.
We were assistants before together. We used to go to Paris and Milan. Bumble would send us to Milan and Paris to do the shows. And I remember one time saying we were all on someone's bed and we were all figuring out we had 2 days off from Milan on before we had to go to Paris. And I said, guys, let's go to Venice. Let's take the train. We can go to Venice. And everyone's like, okay, should we? Do we have time for this? Do we do this? I was like, you guys, this is such a special moment. There's not going to be this time in our lives where we're going to be all together doing this. Like, let's just go to Venice. And my friend Heather, who her and I were roommates in Milan and Paris for years. And we went to Venice, and it was amazing. And it was just like a little day trip. I don't even know if we spent the night, but we took the train from Milan to Venice, came back to Milano. And then the next day went to Paris. And then when we were in Paris, I was like, let's go to Amsterdam. Amsterdam. And then I was like, yeah, that's like a
European tour.
Totally. I was like, you guys were here. Let's go. If we have some days off, I would go by myself sometimes. Yeah. Smuggle drugs back and forth between Paris and Amsterdam. So fun. Like, I just love that time. So that's why I always say there's like, seize the day, whatever it is that you want to do. Sometimes when you're at this point in your life, no matter where you are, you're not going to be here again. Like me and those same people that were in that room, in that hotel room in Milan, haven't been back in the same hotel room in a while. And it's like, when you have those friends you grow up, especially in hair school, or you grow up in a salon that all of my closest friends in New York are hairstylists that I was assistants with or worked at Bumble and Bumble. Those are my friends now for over 20 years because we've had those experiences, and they're so special. And I think working with people that you love, and just, I love hairstylists. Do you guys love?
I love hairstylists.
For the most part, right?
Yes.
For the most
part.
There's some crazy ass bitches.
There's gonna be some bitches, and
some
also can be so
psychos.
catty.
Where's the button?
That can like not. It's true. They can be so catty. Here, give me that.
Yeah, do another shade.
Like you either love and support one another, or it's like that is your evil bitch twin that's trying to take you out.
It's so true. It's so true. Actually, just like you, my two best friends, actually my three best friends in this city are people that I've worked with in salons. And one of them moved here with me at the same exact time to do the same exact job for the same exact salon owner. And she also had worked for that same manufacturer. We both moved to New York together. She's still here too. Rondianne.
Hi,
I love you. She's the best.
And you guys work at the same salon?
We
or
did.
You used to?
We did. We moved here to work at the same salon that is in Clinton Hill. I'm sure it's still around, but I'm not giving them a shout out.
And you're not there anymore.
You don't get that.
But where are you at now?
I'm at Salon Dumbo.
Salon Dumbo.
On Washington Street in Dumbo, Brooklyn, which if you know, you know.
Area.
Actually, that's where you and I met.
That is, I was just going to say, we met, so Jody Rivard, shout out Miss Rivard.
Shout out Sister Jody.
And to Regina.
Jody
texted me,
Sisters.
I'm coming to New York, and I want to see you. I was like, oh my God, yes, let's figure out a time. And I remember I was working with Florence that, it's like weird when celebrities come into town, it's kind of like, okay, the world stops. She had an album out. I was doing press. So I was like, but I need to see Jody. But I was like, oh, like I got to do this. So it worked out to where I could go, and she had mentioned, oh, we're going to go see our friend Chad who works at a salon. I want you guys to meet. I was like, okay, perfect. I'm like, okay, I just have to be at this hotel where Florence is at to do her for, I forget what it was that she was going to. And so I'm like, I have this time allotment. I said, okay, Jody, I can meet you. We'll go have a Kiki in Dumbo, meet the girls, meet the hairstylist, have a coffee, and then I have to drive and go into the city to go do Florence Welch hair. And so we met. So we came. Chad is there. I'm like, oh my God, you're Muskogee. Mm-hmm. You're from Oklahoma. Yep. I'm like, you're a hairstylist.
I come flying out of the salon, onto Washington Street.
How do I not know you? And then that street in Brooklyn is like the iconic street where everyone gets those pictures.
Yeah,
with
it is the iconic
bridge.
photograph with the Manhattan Bridge. It's always heaving with tourists and
heaving.
But that's perfect for like a walk-in or somebody wants to come in, or
actually,
is it too much?
It's just too much. And actually, the people don't ever look up. They don't even know that we're there because we're a little bit above ground level, and so they don't ever look up. We don't really cater to tourist business. We have local business, which is perfect.
And I do like that it is elevated a little bit, so you're just not street level, because that is it does actually elevate it more than just being street level.
Yeah, it's a really cute location. I'm very proud to work there, and it's been a really good home base for the last 5 years because I've been going back and forth to London. My husband got a scholarship to Central St. Martin to do a yeah, he's serious. I know he's magical.
Oh my God,
we were just so fierce.
He got a scholarship paid for by the Alexander McQueen Foundation.
Oh
So he was fully funded, and so that was like that's an opportunity that you can't turn down. And this is to your earlier point. When these things come around, you just go. And we had when we met, we met on Friday the 13th of March 2020, which is the day that this city shut down for COVID.
Yeah.
That's the day that we met.
Yeah.
Which is very witchy. He's also very witchy like me, so it's only fitting. It was a really crazy time, and that's when we met. But at that time, I already knew that he had applied for this opportunity, and so when we got word of that, it was an automatic yes. He went.
I mean, obviously, if you don't know, Central St. Martin's is the school. Galliano, my favorite designer, Alexander McQueen, countless people went to Central St. Martin's. That's incredible. I cannot wait to see. I need to see his fashion.
Yeah. Well, he, we're gonna be dropping a little capsule of some T-shirts that are. We're launching a technology that is 3D printing on textiles.
Love.
So we haven't really seen that yet. We're gonna drop that. It's a brand new technology, and these are gonna be some really cool T-shirts.
Oh
so
my God.
you'll see some stuff from him
cool.
really soon. Yeah, I'll hook you up.
I get to get a shirt. I saw
Deyah's
a
first in line.
behind the scenes.
They're really cool. I almost
They're
wore
really
one
cool.
today, but it was in the laundry, so.
Nice. Oh, you should have worn it.
I know. I will.
I wore my Queen of Pakistan shirt.
This shirt is giving. This shirt is giving.
Onija Robinson, everybody. My queen. We love her. It's against my religion. But so Deyah.
And then I'm wearing my husband's shirt.
And you're wearing your husband's shirt, but I have made you a shirt, which is kind of iconic.
You know why? I know, it's iconic, and I make sure to wear it at events.
I didn't need you to wear it today.
Yeah.
But I have a little shirt moment happening, and Deyah is my only model that I've designed for. I'm gonna make some other shirts.
Everybody wants the shirt, girl. So I keep saying, put some, even if it's like 5. Like I was telling Karina, because when I went to at least 5 people have asked for it. Like,
oh,
who
you need
made it?
a little rack
it's
at RA.
Couture of Farid.
Yes. The
House of
Farid.
Maison Farid.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I'm gonna put a little mannequin here with my little pieces behind. Be like, if you like this,
pre-order.
This will fund another episode of Let's Have a Powwow podcast.
Yes.
So that's coming soon. But Deyah, how did you get into hair?
Wow. So I feel like it's one of those things too where I just kind of always did it, not realizing it, because I was a power dancer, so my mom always braided my hair for that, and then I also sweat because I'm a gaby, first of all, so I have 2 mommies, and so my biological mother Sherry and my mom's ex-partner Charlene is Lakota from Pine Ridge. So I was raised with both doing Apache, our ceremonies and stuff, but then also going to do Lakota ceremonies. So I went to Sundance and sweat and everything. So just braiding hair, that was a big step. And then I remember me and my girl Joni back home on the res would be asked to do girls' hair for prom.
Shout out Joni.
Yes, Joni
Oh,
LaCapa.
prom? I was wondering if this was gonna come up because I definitely did hair for prom too. I didn't go to prom. I just did hair for prom.
Me neither.
We had been it was so then my girl Joni.
No problem.
We would, because we were older and all these little kids would be like, hey, or the freshmen would be like, hey, can you do my hair or something? And it happened once, and then it kind of picked up, and then anyway, I moved off the res at 16. So, I moved off, and then I was a theater. Okay, I have a stage mother, so I was a theater kid, and I also did all of the traditional pageants back home on the res. So Baby Girl of the Year, Miss White, and Mountain
we
Apache
have royalty
Princess.
with us, you guys. We have Indigenous royalty here. She's a child star.
Oh my God, I was.
She's a pageant winner. Give me all of your titles, honey.
Okay. My mom put me in so many of them, but I think I did win Baby Girl of the Year.
Baby girl.
She had a big ass head.
Baby
with
girl.
some cheeks. You saw my baby picture.
Girl, the best picture I've ever seen in my life.
And then I won our high school one, which is Miss White one, or Miss, I'll just say high school, with one of my really good friends, Aaron Tate. Shout out Boo. He was the king and I was the queen.
Of course.
Of course.
And then
Power couple.
I won Miss Apache Youth.
Aww.
I didn't win the titles that my mom really wanted me to do, which is you know, she wanted me to be Miss White Montepetya Queen, and then like Corals Miss Indian World eventually. But because my cousin Mitzi did win that too. Hi Mitzi.
Hi Mitzi.
Hi, Mitzi.
So she was like, "Oh, that's where it's gonna
Our queen, Mitzi.
Mitzi Tolino. Hi cousin." But so yeah, then for that, you know, always having to do hair. So my mom, anyway, stage mother is my mother, Sherry.
Wait, did Sherry do your hair? Or is she a secret
she,
good?
She did my
hair
hair.
person?
She would do like my on the low. Like that's something that she always did. She was a phenomenal braider, beater.
Wow.
Like so, she would always make even like a seamstress, which she still does now.
Yes.
She makes everyone's like camp dresses for ceremony back home.
Yes.
And she would sew all of my things like to wear for competing, and then also like for like my 8th grade graduation, my freshman prom, like all these things she made me from like scratch. So my mom was like so multi-talented.
Love.
Yeah.
But she definitely pushed really hard for me to like be on stage. So then I remember I started doing theater, you know, like as like I fell in love with theater.
Okay.
And I became that was like a freshman in high school because I was like, oh,
what were you doing? Were you acting? Were you behind the scenes? Were you on the stage?
I know acting because
Wait, what were some of the early roles?
Oh God, girl. Okay, the only one that I really remember the most because it traumatized me, was I did Shakespeare competition, which I can't. I could not recite what I even don't remember what I did. What I was it was from Midsummer's Night Dream. I can't remember what
classic,
it was.
high school classic.
Yeah, so I couldn't like that. Had to be my final for graduation. We all had to do like to graduate to the next year. That was the final. Like you had to do Shakespeare competition, so that I like was forced to do it. Just that, but like that was like a core memory. Like So yeah, but when you're working for a small theater company, you kind of do everything yourself, you know, like a company, like you do the makeup, you do the hair, you have the wigs, costume, you got to do everything right quickly while you're doing changes in the back or on the side. So I just got used to doing that too, like my makeup and my hair and stuff. So
fun.
Yeah, like that's really where it kind of started. And then when I moved to the city 18 years ago, had no idea what I was actually going to do because I just moved here kind of like on a whim. I'm hella spontaneous.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? I had family, like my Aunt Coco and her ex-partner were living here and had visited them one summer. And then I was going to go to...
Is that how you chose New York? Because you had family here?
So yeah, my Aunt Coco.
Arizona is like a big...
It's a big... I know it's drastic, but also my parents sent us away a lot to like, we were used to traveling. So I wasn't like nervous about it. I was just like, I want to go to live in New York. So
yes.
do it.
That was the same with
fearless.
Me. Yeah. I never thought of like failing. I never thought of...
Yeah, I never thought about what I'm going to do.
There's no looking back. Like it wasn't like there was no other option. Like it was just like, I'm just going to go. Like, what am I, you know? So it wasn't one of those things. Also, when I was 21, you don't think about like, oh my God, I have to like apply to places. I have to do things. I didn't apply to any job until I got to New York in the year 2000. And I only applied at one place. And it was a salon called Bumble and Bumble. And I had only heard of it.
Salon.
Iconic, yeah.
I had only heard of it because I had, was a fashion victim. I read it in magazines and I had seen someone mention it and I'm like, I knew they had products and I was like, okay, like, I guess this is like where I'll go. And then when I came here, I had this amazing community of older gay men who actually wrote me a resume so good that even today, if I read that resume, I don't think I'm even qualified from back then.
That's how you get it. Like,
it
that's
was
a great
like
resume.
Right.
I invented hair. I invented styling, hairstyling, curling iron. I invented everything.
You created everything that is hair.
Yeah, like it was that good. They spun a tale so beautiful, and I got this job to be an assistant and make $5.15 an hour in New York City, and I was ecstatic. But that's the thing you do when you're young. You're just like, okay, cool. I'm just going to move here because there's no looking back. There's nothing here for me. I did what I could do in Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
And I did my schooling. I cosplayed at Wichita State for a year and was like, okay, I know what I want to do because I was doing hair as a teenager with my friends, emulating these fashion magazines, these photo shoots with my best friend Shiraz, shout out. Shiraz Ansari. We were doing photo shoots with our friends, and that just translated into like what I do now, just with, professional models and celebrities. But it was from that point, like, this is like what I'm going to do. And in the year 2000 and the late 90s, it wasn't oversaturation like we have now. There was no social media. There was none of that. So before that time, you just watched House of Style, fashion television, read, devoured magazines, devoured art books. And that's kind of how it was, like this analog version of fashion. And so you really had to know it was this niche thing. And like explaining what I was trying to do to my mom was just like, I mean, we would get haircuts if we got haircuts at like Fantastic Sam's, which is like a great clips. Like my mom was super low maintenance. Like there was nothing. So then I just started cutting my own hair, and then I was like a punk rocker, and I was a skater. So then I was like coloring my own hair, and like, the whole spectrum. So the New York story of like when you come here when you're young and like you don't have that like I have to like now being in my 40s, thinking of what I did gives me anxiety. Like, oh my God, you got on a Greyhound bus and traveled for 2 days to Port Authority because that's where you come on the Greyhound bus into New York. It's Port Authority, and your just whole life opens up and starts for you. And it's such a beautiful thing because it's very like, when you decide what you want to do in your life, I believe, just like the Alchemist book says, the world conspires to help you achieve that. Yes, the universe conspires to help you achieve what you truly want. And I did come to New York to be an editorial hairstylist without knowing what the hell I was doing. I was fresh out of hair school. I worked a year in a salon, and Bumble and Bumble, shout out to Sophia Connie Voynes, who hired me at Bumble and Bumble, and probably laughed and giggled after our interview because I came to her with my little portfolio and I said, this is what I want to do. I want to do fashion shows. I want to do photo shoots and da 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 da. And knowing what I know now as a person that's been in the fashion space for over 25 years, that's so cute. And she
That
kind
is
of
so cute.
That's so cute. And she kind of looked at me like, that's so cute. She's like, we're not really looking for that right now, but if you want to be an assistant, it's $5.15 an hour, and you're gonna work really long hours. Do you want the job? I was like, yes, great. And even though I know like she kind of poo-pooed and it was like, I'll accept that. But when you're hungry and you're like, this is my foot in, this is where I want to be. And I had no idea that the cutting was so amazing. The cutting education that you got at Bumble was incredible.
Yeah.
The styling. So I kind of wedged my way into them by way of all of that. I got to start doing shows and then start getting my own shows, assisting, really amazing hairstylists on set, and going to Paris and Milan, and then getting my own shows. And then, after years later, talking to Sophia, I remember we were doing a class at Bumble, and I was like, Connie, do you remember when you were like, I am not here for your little portfolio and for what you're trying to do? I'm like, do you remember that? And she was like, yes. And look what you've done. And now I'm your biggest fan. And she still is my biggest fan. And I love you, mama. I love you, mama. Sophia was our mommy at Bumble and Bumble. Like she had to really, we were all these young kids, assistants that moved from wherever. Yeah. Or not even moved. That was your mom when you got there. It gets like that in some salons, right? It's like mom and dad, and especially when you're coming from a dysfunctional family like me, you're like looking for that. Things just kind of start feeling like that more. And I was really lucky to have that opportunity.
I love
at
that
time.
You said that too.
And so when we met,
we had the same similar educators.
Okay, so you came to New York, and were you in hair? Did you go to hair school right away?
I went to hair school, and so this is no, not right away, because I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Like I was kind of lost. I was on the lamb in a way. Like,
Work.
Just trying to,
we love it on
I
the
was
lamb.
like, I needed to do something that was kind of like off the books and off the grid that like from what I was doing before back in Arizona.
Perfect hairstyling.
So I was just like, let me start
Reinvention.
over. Let me start over. And so I went to hair school. And I went to night school because I was working a day job, so it took me
I did
a
it nights
year and
too. I
almost
did that
2
night
years
school
to
game
do
too.
it. Yeah, it was rough, like, but I wouldn't change it for the world. And shout out to the American Indian Community House because they did get a scholarship to help me with to get through.
We love
program.
the American Indian Community House.
Yes,
and
you
they will
guys
be
are
on the
fam.
pod because they're very important to our community here.
They really are. They definitely helped me when I moved to the city to like get me on my feet because I went to them immediately. One of my aunts knew about them, and so I went there. They helped me with like finding a job, to stipends for food, helping with clothing.
Girl, I need that now.
And
Can
then just
we-
meeting
we
a
get this?
community here, because that's
Truly.
where I first met like
Yeah.
Trish, Kat, Maki, you
That was
know,
the
like
first
that the
place I-
Ratchet Squad.
That was the first place I looked up when I came here too.
Yeah, they
Yes.
helped
That
me
was-
so much being here. So I have mad love for ASH and all my you know, that family with them.
Yes, very
so-
important.
Yeah, so they helped me out, and then went to hair school, did the night thing. I also struggled, which is something I've never told anybody, and I'm gonna tell you because it's real tea, and it's also important for it because it's okay now, you know. But I did. I failed the state board the first time I took it
Work.
because. And, you know,
Work.
it was such an easy thing to do, like I thought, and then it was like what it did is like I did one thing wrong, which is like the pin curl thing on the side, that fucking ridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess she said stop, and I didn't hear her, and then just so that was what it was, like that I didn't hear as I was finishing the last pin and went to clip it that she had said stop already, because I was so spaced out, like
This was
I was
about
like
timing.
panicking. I was in the zone. I was like, I'm gonna finish this, you know. So I'm stressed out in my head. And I guess because she said stop and I didn't stop, like that's what failed me. Because it was like you have to be able to take direction or whatever. And I got that. It was so I was livid. Anyway, I did.
That's so lame.
It's so lame.
That
New
Failed
York
the
shouldn't
state
State,
board.
that is so lame.
Failed the
Did you
state
you took it in New
board.
York State?
I did, yeah.
New York
I
State,
went
that's so lame.
to Empire Beauty School.
Shout out Empire. The Empire
Miss Sandy,
girls.
you were my girl. You helped me so much. She's the one that referred me and got me my first salon job at where we shall not name because I will not shout them out because that was
There's always one.
militant evil BS. But
Oh, the girls. The ex-Bumbles girls.
the ex Bumble girls, but also
They weren't girls, actually. They were hetero men, which is
yes.
the problem.
That's what
of which
the
So often
issue,
the
yo.
problem.
we were talking
But they
about.
were we had similar educators, so that's why we could like. I remember when we first met, right? I saw you, like I'd known who you were already. I was like, that's Amy. Oh my God, that's Amy. And like
Stop.
Rosa, also our girl, she
Love
used to
Rosa.
talk about you. And then I was like, yeah, I know who. She would like show me stuff, and like anyway, we would kiki about you. So went to IDP.
Indigenous
and-
Peoples Day on Randall's Island.
on Randall's Island.
Because New York State does not acknowledge Indigenous Peoples Day. They still hold true to Columbus Day.
Yeah, which is boo.
New York
we need
City.
to change that.
Yeah, New York City. We are living in the year 2025, and we still acknowledge and celebrate Christopher Columbus. Well, we don't.
We
Yeah.
don't.
But
we
New
don't.
York State is, you know, a very Italian-centric place,
Mhm.
and they're not giving up Mr. Columbus. They're not giving her up. They don't
No.
want to, no matter what. So,
The land wasn't enough.
the raping, the women, everything.
Literally, the whole colonizing,
Everything.
murdering,
It
killing
wasn't
all of
enough.
us.
And so the indigenous community here in New York have a yearly party. It's a party.
kind of
It's
a party.
It's a gathering. It's a celebration of us being
Which
here,
even that is its own. There's another
resilient. And so they have a function on Randall's Island.
It's like a little powwow.
It's a little powwow. It's literally a little powwow. So it's called Indigenous Peoples Day. And that is where I met Deyah for the first time. She came up to me and it was amazing.
So I went up to Amy, right? I know who she was. I knew, like, I was like, oh my God, because this is something I want to do. I was like, I want to work on set. I want to be working editorial. This is what I want to do. because I was like, I just didn't like the salon life, you know? I was like, it drives me crazy. People are too catty, and I just like, didn't feel creative enough.
Yes.
And I was like getting bored, and I was like, I hate what I do now because of that, you know? So then I was just like, I went up to you and I was just like, hey, I remember you're on the phone. I was like, I'm really like, so great to meet you. I was like, but also I will hold your coffee if I could assist you on set or ever. And you were just, I remember you're on the phone, looked at me, you're like, oh my God, you're so cute. And then you're like, hold on, I'll get back to you. I'm just on the phone, but I'll come find you.
Yes. So, sidebar, the phone call I was on was the craziest phone call with family back home. I had just kind of found out about my mom having cancer. So I was having this serious conversation, and Deyah came up to me, and she was saying the most beautiful things, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And then I have an earbud in of like, basically finding out my mother's dying.
Yeah.
And
then I didn't see the earbud, but I afterwards you were like, oh, I'm on the phone. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
No, yes. And I was like, wait, come back, because I was like, wait, what? Yes, I get so excited when I find out there are more of us in the world, in our business. And so I was like, wait, come back. So I finished, this phone call, and then talked to Deyah, and
we kikied about similar educators, which is we went back and forth because I was like, oh yeah, I know this person, this person. So we were going in on the tea. So, and then we just clicked like already.
Yes.
Like it was like, I was like, I love you, I'm obsessed with you. You were like, I love you. And then literally that was what, 4 or 5 years ago.
So 2017, 18?
Yeah, I think 18.
2018,
Then like literally, like I think a week or two later, you like hit me up and you're like, hey, you want to are you available to meet for? And I was like, yeah. And then that was like for Cover Girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah,
Yes.
I'm totally there. I'm available.
Yeah.
And
so I was so happy because knowing that she came up out of ex Bumble educators that I had when I was an assistant, I was like, okay, she's gonna have at least a good foundation for styling.
Yeah.
Foundation for styling means you can do a round brush roller set. And it's very simple and it's very easy, but a lot of people don't know how to do that. So once I got her on set, we kind of, got into each other's groove. And then I was like, she knows it. She knows it. And now she's a round brush queen. And it's such an amazing, simple thing to do. I was teaching out at Pony in Oakland. I taught them a whole class. And like some of those students, just even last week, are like, girl, because I was like, you're all going to, this was last year. I was like, you're all going to see, everyone's going to be doing big 90s hair again. Sabrina Carpenter, the big hair girls. I'm like, you guys need to know how to do this very foundational, important step, which is knowing how to do a round brush blow dry. And then a set and how to start it and where to start it.
I mean, and you're also a great teacher because I remember even like if there was moments of like, oh, or, being like busy or whatever, you'll like either jump in or you're just like, well, wait, like let's do this. You were just like, I love your notes or whatever because that made me better.
Yes. And that's like when you're backstage at a show and you're seeing people work, like you have to kind of jump in. Like you have to do things. And get the shit done because we got to go. It's time. It's time, everyone. And it's like this whole thing. So yes, Deyah, when she came up to me, I was like, what? Yes, this is amazing. And we've been working together ever since. Yeah. And you don't really work with a lot of other people these days because you have your own thing going on.
I do. Like it. Yes, I do. Well, that was also like a huge in part, thank you, of course, because that's all it is. It's like you meet that person who gives you a chance, right? And then you gave me that opportunity. And then, of course, then the rest is up to you because then you start networking. You're working on set more. You meet the other assistants. You meet everybody else that's on set who is doing their own thing, also trying to, like, establish themselves. Like, and, we all have to build our portfolio. So, yeah, like, so just that intro, and I got to, like, meet all these people, and, like, that helps you and makes you, like, create your own teams and people and, like, doing your own shoots. And that's, like, how it starts. You start doing test shoots.
That's
and
how
then
it starts.
Getting your stuff out there, and then, people start, like, reaching out to you because they're like, oh, my God, I love your work or whatever. And then, yeah, so I built my portfolio. Still working on my website, I know. But to get to where I am, which I am a lot busier where I have my own clientele now too.
Yes.
And because you're my homie, like if I'm not working, and she asks me, I'm like, oh, totally, like I'm there, because we also have like a flow already. Like,
yes,
it's so quick. I can read her mind.
I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled because here it is, guys, and I'm gonna put this out here because I do need. You're not gonna be able to assist me much longer,
No.
and I need a new assistant. I need to train someone because I just will call you forever and ever. Because it is that. And also, I love having two Indigenous bitches up on the set.
Seriously.
Honey. Because
we're taking up that space.
Because we're taking up the space. And we're here. And, you know, the name of this fucking podcast is Let's Have a Powwow. Because, bitch, how many times have we been on set? And someone is like, let's have a powwow.
Yes.
And I'm like, or
we literally
can
look
just,
at each other.
Yeah, or we can just have a chat. Like, we don't have to have a powwow. So that is my favorite thing. So if there's any other Indigenous hairstylists that would like to assist, please DM me, email me, because I need to train you and we need to get. Deyah is doing her own thing, honey, and she's doing it big. Like, I love all the stuff that you're shooting. Who do you shoot with a lot?
Like photographers?
Yeah.
People that I tested with, honestly.
Yes.
So the rest is just like referral from from stylists, you know, like who I've worked with, who've been like, oh, can you do this? Like the one with what's her name, the podcaster, like my boy Markel, who's a stylist. He's the one who brought me onto that. He's like, girl, he's like, are you available to do this? She's
Courtney B.
Courtney B. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Courtney B. My bad, girl. But yeah,
she's the funniest.
She's so funny.
Her commentary on all the Zeus, and you guys know I love a Zeus show because I'm trash, but she does the commentaries on the bad versus wild multiverse on Zeus.
Yeah.
And all her commentary of all the baddies that show up and Jocelyn and everything. It's flawed. It's the best part of the actual show is Courtney B's spot because she's so funny. Okay, so question. Who is your dream client or who do you want to work with?
Oh my God, dream client. It's been, I mean, I feel like I'm like a degree from her, but like, that's not, let me think of somebody, but because of course, you know, I know you've worked with Lily, and then she got my phone number, so then I was just like, oh my God, maybe one day I'll work with Lily, and that's just because for me, what's most important is working with other Indigenous people. Like I love, like that's where I feel like more fulfilled and more humble.
Same.
Because like I have worked with celebrities before, but like my thing is I always feel great with our own people, and like I don't mind working and doing a trade or a barter with somebody either, because like I've worked with other Indigenous designers who we've done that. Because like they can't always afford like the rate that is out here, like what our rate is, you know. So I'll be like, oh, let's do a trade. And like I've been lucky enough to have like Chad, like, are you available? Can you assist me? So he's helped me on before assisting doing hair for shows with like Indigenous designers here.
You know, you've given me a call like, hey, there's this show that is coming up. Do you want to assist me? And also like,
or if I'm not available and you're like doing somewhere, like if there's somebody in Brooklyn or something like that I can't make, but wants to go to salon or whatever, I'll be like, girl, can you do this? You know?
Yeah.
And that's how. And then we gel too.
I know the way that we met was so cute.
Wait, how did you guys meet?
It was at there was a drag show, an Indigenous drag show, which we love.
The major one that was
with
my National Museum of American Indian.
That I was back home in Oklahoma for, and I was so. Was it during Pride?
I think
was that
like
the
Pride month, but not at the
yeah. It wasn't
like
during that
Pride
week, I think, but it was around that time. And
wait, with my girl from who's Danae, the queen. Oh my God,
Lady Shug. There's Lady
Shug.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lady Shug. I live for Miss Shug.
And Land O'Lakes, who I've known for many decades, and also Sage Chanel, who is
Sage Chanel,
who is a dear friend of mine, basically a relative, and I grew up like stomp dancing with Sage, like at the same ceremonial grounds, the Tallahassee
They're from
Wokokaye grounds.
They're from Oklahoma.
Yeah, Sage is from Oklahoma. Yeah, and she's a really good shell shaker, and she's always been like a sister. So and Landa Lakes also. I mean, she's like an older sister.
Oh.
But also a dear one.
Come
and so
get her.
Of course. Oh, she
for
will.
her.
She will. She'll be in the comments.
Come get her. And come on my podcast, please.
Yes.
Next
Also,
time you're in New York.
absolutely.
That would be-
Yeah. You.
I
gotta have
need
Landa
a
on here.
drag. I need an indigid drag.
Well,
moment.
you need all three of them. I think
On
we
the
need to get them all
couch.
three. Can you get them on the couch, zoom them in, something?
Something.
Yeah, that
And
would be fierce.
something.
I was there and I was waiting after their performances in line for the photos because Auntie Claudia she had to have a photo with the girls and I was her guest, and so we were waiting in line, and Deyah came up to me while I was in line, and she like touched my arm. She's like, I don't know if you know me. And I turned around and I was like, oh my God, stop right there. I'm obsessed with you.
So
Oh
cute.
my God.
I follow you. Deyah, I know exactly who you
Okay.
are. I follow you. I'm obsessed with you. And we were both just like, and
We were
like,
like, oh my God,
hugging over this
hi.
little velvet rope. It was the cutest thing.
Now,
Yeah.
how
It
did
was-
you know about Chad?
Cause of Leanna. So Leanna
Okay.
is Muskogee.
Yes.
and knows
Also from
Chad, and
Oklahoma.
Another Okie. Yeah, I just went right up and was like, "Girl, we gotta meet each other. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Deyah."
It was the
live.
cutest thing. And also shout out to Leanna and the girls at Relative Arts because
Yes.
I have to say
Karina,
not only and Karina, of course.
bestie.
We were just DMing. We're trying to get them on the pod. They're very busy. Karina was out at the Oscars designing dresses.
Headed
in
to to
IRL.
Santa Fe Fashion Week,
Oh yeah,
They're busy
making
ladies.
moves,
So yes.
lady bosses, but also like pillars of the community because truthfully,
100%.
like we were talking about AICH, and that was who I looked up when I first got to New York, and I learned about H because Mary Helen Deere, who is a friend of mine and is also Muskogee from Oklahoma, was one of the founders, and she was telling me about this because I worked many years with her in volunteer spaces with several different organizations in Oklahoma in the HIV/AIDS prevention and awareness circles and stuff like that. And so when I was moving to New York, she was like, "You've got to look up this organization. I helped found it, and it was female founded, and that was something I was like, yeah." So I found them, but then also the work to complement the work that they're doing, the work that Relative Arts is doing is creating an incredible network of Indigenous artistry and community and creativity, and it's so grassroots and it's so authentic.
Yes.
And
definitely.
there are some haters in the community because they can't hold friendships and relationships.
That's tea.
That's
That
tea.
is-
That's tea.
And
That's
she
tea
knows
in
who
any
I'm
community.
talking about.
Ooh, girl, see, I'm into the tea, girl.
We can't do names. But
I love this messy pod. Please,
we
need
are
it.
hairdressers after all.
We need the
right?
Yes.
followers.
Let's be real.
Just to say, Relative Arts really have their foot in so much and have created so much in the Indigenous community. It's so important, and it's not easy to sustain something like what they're doing.
No.
So support Relative Arts. What they're doing, they're trying, and they're doing it, and they're holding space, and they're letting you have whatever you want to have in New
They're
York.
letting community
Yeah.
drive it, and that's
Yes.
the most beautiful thing because it's working and it's happening, and you see it, and
Yes.
it's really inspiring. I got here only 10 years ago, and there were a handful of younger people, and then there were some things that happened in the community with women's circles, young women's circles, activism circles, and there were a lot of things happen in those circles, and those people know who they are too. Some of
Oh,
them,
I live for that.
some
That was
of
a
them-
whole moment.
Some of them are no longer in New York City because we chased them the fuck out, and
Work.
that's what happens because we are a community, and that's the thing too.
And you make an ass of yourself, honey.
Yeah.
We're gonna let it be known.
But when you take care of people, we let that be known too, and we take care of each other, and so this is how that works. And that's the truth of the matter is what you can just take a look at what the folks at Relative Arts have built. And I'm not just talking about their store, but I'm talking about the community and the events and
the people,
the network.
The network, yes.
It's massive.
Yes.
And it's grown in a grassroots way, and it's grown over the past few years. And all of us are connected to them, and we are resulting from that connection, and that's something huge. I'm a board
member,
and that's truly something huge. And whereas the other examples out there, you know, they just kind of they fall flat, and there's not that community energy behind it, and it's sad, but this is the future.
Yeah.
And it's really something beautiful, and it's really magical that so many youth are connected in that way, because that's what keeps us
so many
that's
ages.
what keeps it fresh, and that's what keeps us going.
Yeah, so go to
100%.
Relative Arts, 367 East 10th Street.
Your relatives in New York City.
Yeah, it's so like go and buy stuff, because everyone there is like Indigenous, you know, artists, and they have stuff that you can purchase, and you know, you're supporting directly to them. So go in,
very
shop.
important. Where can people find you? What do you have up? What's going on? What's on the horizon? Do you have anything coming out? Anything you want to big up? Any important stuff coming up? And where can people find you and follow you?
Oh, so hit me up on Instagram, on socials, or whatever. My Instagram is Deyah Cassadore, or Deyah_Cassadore. Google me.
Your website is coming out
My
soon.
website's coming soon, because I'm in the talks.
You see all the cool hair she's doing.
All the hair stuff. Yeah, I mean, but more, for now, I refer to like IG until that's published.
Totally.
Follow her stories.
My stories. I know. Oh, and I work one Sunday a week at a hair salon.
Yes.
Called Hair Art Designs, which is in Gramercy. It's small and cute, like little crew of like hairstylists that I love. So that's where I am at on Sunday.
Say it again.
Hair Art Designs.
Hair Art Designs. Okay, love in Gramercy. Shout out. Taking good care of my girl. I know that's right.
All the girls.
All the girls, yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm following the stories.
Might go
All the
to
girls are looking
Santa
fly.
Fe for Indigenous Fashion Week in May. We're trying to figure it out, make that happen. I'm hoping, you know, that works out. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? Might be represented by an agency soon. We'll see.
Yeah, coming up.
Yes.
We'll see.
Chad, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, also chad.tabor. And I'm also in Salon Dumbo during the week, Wednesday through Sunday. I'm still there in Brooklyn. And if you're a hair colorist, you can hit me up, and we can chat about Alpha Parf hair color, because I'm now doing educating for Alpha Parf Milano, which is a fabulous Milan-based hair color brand, incredible product. So we could chat about hair color. That's what I'm working on now. There's potential extension back to London. So
we love in a London moment. I'm living for the Central St. Martin's moment.
We still have a flat in London right now. So if you need,
yes.
Yeah, we still have a flat right. If you need a place to stay in London, hit me up. I've got a room right now.
That's incredible.
Sublet it.
Yeah, we're trying to sublet this room, so hit me up. It's in East London. It's very chic, very punk rock.
And what area of London?
It's in Hackney, in East London.
Oh, so fun!
Of course. The Brooklyn to Hackney pipeline is like, it's a real thing.
I live. Wait, I have one last question that I always forget to ask, and I'm gonna ask it. Here we go. What is a perfect day? What is a perfect day for you?
I'm kind of a ritual kind of a guy, so I like to wake up around the same time, probably around 6:30. I need a little
AM.
Yeah, AM. I'm an early guy. I want to have my cup of Earl Grey. It's the London thing. I spent too much time over there, so I gotta have my cup of tea. And
it is my favorite tea too.
That is one of my favorites.
But I do the Brit thing. I put the milk in it.
Oh, yeah, that's good though.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, okay.
What do you mean? People drink Earl Grey without milk?
I don't know. I feel like Americans look at me crazy when I pour like a white liquid into my tea. I don't know.
Oh my God, no.
Okay, cool.
No.
That's how you're supposed to.
And honey.
And honey. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's the best taste.
That's it. And then after the Earl Grey,
I
have a meditation after that.
And we didn't talk about the crystals yet.
Oh yeah, well this is all, it's all linked, right? Yeah.
So here we go.
I'm draped in the crystals, you know, and they're in the pockets, they're everywhere.
Yes.
So I'm into the crystals and the energy and the meditation. It's all a practice.
Are you doing like
ritual.
TM? What kind of meditation?
You know, okay, so this is going to be really funny, but I have been doing the same meditations since 2013, and there are several versions of them, but they're 21-day meditation experiences that are led by Deepak Chopra and Oprah Winfrey.
Bitch, I am so here for it.
I'll give you my login.
Bitch, I do the Deepak Chopra, Deepak Oprah chakra balancing.
Okay.
On the train sometimes.
Yeah.
Where like he balances your chakras out. And
I need that.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's just go on Apple Music, you know. But it's amazing. He's fantastic. Well, he leads this meditation.
These 21-day meditation experiences, and they release them once in a while, and you can purchase it afterwards. They'll do it for free online, and then you purchase it afterwards. And I have like a library of them because I've purchased so many of them, and so I'll just do like a 21-day meditation series, and then I'll start another one.
And is it the one where he guides you?
So there's like an introduction with Oprah Winfrey, and she kind of has, because they all have like a theme. So there's like a theme for the 21 days, like hope in uncertain times. That's the one that came out after Trump was elected the first time. I'm back on that one, by the way.
Appropriate. We all need that. We all need the login.
Times be uncertain.
We need the login.
Yeah, I'll share the login. Okay, I've got like we can crash it. We can just crash it.
All the relatives.
Yeah, all the relatives just log in. And so Oprah gives you like a little intro, kind of like a lead in, and then Deepak.
Oh, I listened to Super Soul Sunday. I know the lead in.
Yeah, and then Deepak gives you the expounded version with a Sanskrit mantra and a thought for the day, and it's all related. And then you do like a little 10 or 20-minute meditation, and then after that, probably another cup of tea. And then I would go out for a run because that's another way I like to clear my head. And I live really close to Prospect Park in Brooklyn.
Gorge.
So just run a couple blocks over to Prospect Park and then run a lap around the park, about 4 miles. That's kind of my limit. Like, that's it. And then, like a light breakfast, something like that. Yeah. And then, I don't know, while I'm in the park, I usually take a little bit of a break there because there's a waterfall. And also, my husband and I got married in Prospect Park. So I go visit the little pavilion where we got married, and I go touch water in the waterfall.
Yes.
And then, I have my nature moment. It's it's a whole ritual. Earth sign, I can't help it.
Yes. Wait, what's your sign?
And the water.
Look, I'm working on a Monday. I'm a Capricorn.
Okay, it's giving Capricorn.
Yeah, of course.
I love that. Capricorns love your Capricorn.
Yeah. 100%.
You are regimented.
Yeah.
And at 6:30 a.m.
It's very ritual, and it's just so my body like wakes up at that time, and so then I don't just like run out the door and start running. I gotta have my moment and stuff like that.
You have your ritual.
I have my ritual. I might spend a little bit of time at the altar. I have an altar where I've got my crystals for all the directions, and I've got photos of my mother who, like when you were talking about your mom passing, my mom also passed from cancer.
Yes.
So we have that in common as well.
Yes.
So
fuck cancer.
Yeah, fuck cancer and fuck misdiagnoses and all kinds of things.
Yeah, at IHS, was she misdiagnosed at IHS?
But still.
Or wasn't even diagnosed.
Yeah, that was it. It wasn't a diagnosis.
For months that she had cancer.
Yeah, hauntingly
Shout
similar.
out IHS.
IHS with the trash.
Yeah.
Diagnosis.
Cool.
Diagnosing.
Cool.
Yeah, but like spend time with my nanas and my mom, and just like a moment of acknowledgement. For me, like you said, also like a moment to write in a gratitude journal. Maybe not like a diary, but like things I'm feeling grateful for, and then maybe like some time with my spouse. That would be an ideal day because we don't get enough of that.
I bet.
I work weekends and he's doing his thing. So just time together would be amazing, and
that seems like a perfect day too.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Deyah, what's your perfect day?
So my perfect day is to sleep in because I'm a sleeper.
We love.
I am a night owl.
Yes.
I'm not a morning person. And so sleep in definitely. I love to read a lot, so I usually always have a book next to me. So like right now I'm reading From the Res to the Runway.
Yes. Shout out Christian.
You that was such a killer event, and I'm so grateful to like, you know, have this book that is also inspiring all the young, you know, younger generations.
Yes.
That like we can do this. We are here, you know, taking up all this space in all the industries.
Christian will be on the pod.
Yes, Christian.
Fingers crossed. Please come on my little indie pod. Because he's like all famous, interviewing Lady Gaga.
So famous.
Girl, Anna Wintour came to your opening. Like, okay, cool.
Yo, bad bitch
so
alert.
Hopefully come, let's have
yes,
a powwow.
Christian, you have to.
Please. So you're reading it.
So I'm
always
always
read it.
I read a lot, so I'm usually always reading something. So that
there's nothing better than getting lost in a book and not having to do anything but just read.
Thinking, because like I can tend to be like a little. I mean, my anxiety's fine now. But like, or sometimes I get a little OCD, you know, or like I'll just from triggered by something. Yeah. So like it's good. It helps me calm my mind, which is best for me. And then have a little coffee. I love. I miss growing up or being around a fireplace, because like you know, back home in the White Mountains, we have a fire all the time. So like that's I used to always just read and just like sit in front of the fire. So like. What I'll do now, because you know, New York, I'll just put on the the
fireplace,
the log
on the TV.
Yeah, the TV on blast. Yeah, and then just it can put me like relaxes me instantly.
And the sound of the crisp of the logs burning.
Yes. So then I'll read. Or like. Go to the beach with my husband, you know.
Oh my God, I love that.
Either like with that but, you know, we're so family oriented and all of our family live up in Co-op City. So we will always do like go to the beach during the summer. Like I live with my sister-in-law and my husband and my nephew and niece and like, you know, just do, you know, doing that. Or we always have like game night. That's also one of my favorite ways to relax.
Yes.
We always have a game night at least like
what game?
Maybe once or twice. Okay, so we play this game called Pass the Pigs.
Pass the Pigs.
So
I don't know.
It's very much like gambling, but not, because so you literally like you have these two pigs that are small, like shaped like pigs and everything, and you roll them, and so each thing that each position they land on is a certain amount of points. So it's like dice. Piggies. Yeah, it is. So it's like dice, but it's just a lot more like but it's no gambling. Nobody gets mad. You're just trying to get to 100. Yeah. You know, it's a lot more chill. You play with the kids because we play with
it's
my niece and nephew. Yeah.
Wait, I want some pigs.
It's so fun. So we have a family game night usually up in the Bronx, either at our place or at my sister-in-law.
Oh my God, that's so
girl, come through.
Fun.
That's really special. It's
come
so
through. And you've been to my place, so I'd be like, yeah. And you know all my
and I
family.
love Danielle. I'm like, get the hookah going because I'm ratchet like that. So I'm like, I need a hookah moment.
So yeah, we're very family oriented. So it's like either that to like chill out and decompress if it's like been a stressful week, or when I'm by myself, I'm reading, zoning out.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. I want to play this piggy game.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what is the best mascara for the Indigenous girls with the big cheeks, honey? What is the best?
Mine is the waterproof by Maybelline, the Sky High mascara, because you know you see these cheeks, they smile, my eyes disappear.
Same.
So if right now I'm not wearing a waterproof eyeliner though, so if there is anything there
is not.
Okay.
No.
That is my favorite mascara that works on me because it stays, and I'm oily, so everything comes off. But that is my thing.
So waterproof Sky High.
Sky High by Maybelline.
Okay, that's good to know.
High lashes.
Do you have
I'm not a makeup guy.
Mascara recommendation?
I'm not a makeup guy.
Okay. I am still holding true to One Size Beauty Patrick Star.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
One Size Beauty Patrick Star is giving me all my life. It takes a while for it to kind of flake. And you know what else I'm really enjoying for the big cheek Indian girls is the Jones Road. And these are waterproof. These are just regular, not waterproof. They are just, you know, and those
the Jones
two,
is good too.
The Jones Road
you're
is
right,
good.
right.
Maybe I need to try these.
Yeah, mine is. Yeah, I'm making sure it says it's the right Sky High. Yes.
Yes.
By
Okay,
Maybelline.
so Sky High Maybelline. I always want to know
Waterproof.
for us, the Indian ladies, the Indian girls,
Especially if you're
because,
like cooking over a campfire
honey,
and you have to have mascara on, and then you're
girl,
sweating in the heat.
for our
And
dances
tearing.
last year, I got the extensions. You know, the girls are wild about the extensions these
Yes.
days. I'm not one of those girls. My daughter is like obsessed with the
My niece,
the snuffleupagus.
they're the same age. They look like she looks like
I'm like,
Snuffleupagus. I'm like, what's
baby.
up?
Yeah. So I
With
did
this
it.
wind?
Yes, it's like-
Exactly. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have my lash moment, but just not the snuffleupagus. I'm gonna have just like a cute little classy look for back home for Ilashka. So I did it, and I was like, I see it. I get it. I get it 100% because you don't have to like.
easy. No
do as much
maintenance. You don't have to put
makeup.
eyeliner on.
It's done,
Yeah.
but also not done. But yeah, so I get it. But then it's like then they start falling out, and then I had them
Then you
professionally
look
done.
crazy.
Not like what our girls are doing, like where they're just like gluing the
3
shit
strips,
every day.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like Luna's
the
doing the
Lashify.
individuals. Yes. So anyway, and I was like, it's too much, and then they fall out, and then your eyelashes fall out. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, let's just do a waterproof mascara. I'm gonna go to the dark side and start doing the waterproof for June in Oklahoma.
Mhm.
Is 107 degrees.
Mhm.
In our regalia is so hectic.
And like
Um,
99% humidity.
Yeah,
I
and-
can't imagine.
yeah, and I've
That
just
sounds
tried
torture.
to not have waterproof, and it's like so dumb. Like, why am I doing this to myself? So yes, okay. So Sky High, Patrick Starr, One Size Beauty.
Mhm.
I love Patrick Starr. I love his translucent powder. I use that on 50 Cent. I've been doing grooming for him a lot these days, and been loving the translucent powder.
Their setting spray and their
Setting?
primer that like because
yes.
I'm oily and I sweat a lot.
Yes,
Those are my two go-to because even for me are like, you know, when you're doing a red carpet client, also
Yeah.
like grooming, just knowing
Yeah.
those tricks of the trade that you have to learn when you're
Yes.
doing these things.
yes.
So like, and then I practice on myself first. Those two are my favorite because I'm
shout out
oily.
Patrick Starr.
Patrick Starr
For the big girls?
mm-hmm.
For the oily girls,
Sweaty girls.
she's really good. And for the drag dolls, like the queens love because the shit works. And that like spray that Beyonce used, the waterproof spray.
That's the
where
one
she
that I'm saying.
preformed,
That's my That's what I
honey,
use.
That is iconic. So Patrick Starr, I love you. Send me and us a PR box.
We love you.
I use you all the time.
Facts.
So yes. All right, guys. That is our show. Oh, you guys, this
And
was
thank you, boo.
amazing. Our all hairstylist episode. I love you guys. Thank you so much. See you soon, cousins. Bye.